Hey, it's Cindy from 94.1 The Wolf in Memphis, Tennessee, and we are here live today with Ryan Daniel. Welcome to Memphis.
Thank you.
It's your first time here, I guess.
It is my first time here in Memphis, and it's been a whirlwind. It's been crazy the past couple of days.
So what are your big impressions of Memphis your last 24 hours?
You guys are a busy city. I thought Nashville was busy, but you guys rank right up there with that. It's go, 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 but in a great way, especially for an artist. There's so much to do, so much to see, but the people of Memphis have been just welcomed us with open arms.
That's great. And you made a visit to St. Jude yesterday, which is a jewel here in the Memphis.
I did. That was an experience. That really truly was. You see it on TV and you see the commercials and the people buy the shirts and donate and all those things, but you can't really. There's no way to describe what it's like going into St. Jude's and doing the tour and meeting the people and seeing the children. It's undescribable.
It is. I went 1 year for Halloween. I dressed up as Glinda the Good Witch, and so it was a whole different level of just love and tears and emotion, and we're so fortunate to have St. Jude here, and Le Bonheur too, that does all the surgeries, and the country community has really just embraced St. Jude and the Children's Hospitals here. So thank you for being a part of that and doing that with us.
No, I appreciate it, and I appreciate St. Jude, and people, you guys can donate, so it's stjude.org. Every dollar counts. We all know that, and it's for real. These parents, they don't get a bill, and these kids stay until they get a cure. I mean, it's just.
There's no accounting department, right? There's no accounting department or
just
something.
Just donate $5, $10. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
Just go there and take care of their families.
Well, he's got a big heart. I know you do some other things with charities. Tell us a little bit about some of your other charities you work with.
Let's see. I mean, I do a lot for the military because I was in the Air Force for 10 years, and so we play a lot of Air Force bases, and we play all bases. I donate a lot of money and do some shows to raise money for PTSD and TBI. There's just not enough awareness about it. I think we're still, to this date, there's something like 22 veterans a day committing suicide because of PTSD. And we're moving forward, but there's still not enough awareness. There's still not enough structure, I think, in any branch of the military for when soldiers are coming back. And so that's what we're trying to raise awareness about, is to let's do something about this. That's too many of our brothers and sisters that are taking their own lives, that hopefully we can try to at least minimize that number the best we can. So we do a lot with that. And then my other charity that I like to do is domestic violence. I watched my mother grow up as a kid with my stepfather, be abused for a lot of years, mentally and physically, very badly. And I always wondered, why don't you leave? Why don't you leave? And then, as I got older and I wanted to get into this, and we wrote my song, I covered a song with Barry and Dwayne Moore, the song Lies and Bruises. It's on my album. And I realized, talking to some of these women who have gotten away, that it's not easy.
No.
And there's not enough awareness about it. It's like people sweep that on the rug, and it's like, wait a second, we need to do something about this.
Right, it was very emotional. I got to hear the song last night, and I'm glad that you get to take your music and make that a part of your message and getting the message out. How did you you got your start in music in the Air Force, right?
Actually, a little earlier than that.
Yeah.
I actually started, my grandfather was a jazz drummer, was in the Air Force, but he was in the Air Force Band back in 1948. Was in the Air Force Band for 8 years, then got out and then was a jazz drummer. Back in the day, they called it Society Swing. Uh-huh. And so I was actually a drummer by trade. I played drums for a long time. And then I kind of started singing in middle school and sort of found my voice, but I wanted to do both, but I didn't think I could be like Phil Collins, and so I had to kind of pick one, Uh-huh. And it just seemed like I loved that limelight of being up front. I always tell people, and I'm sure a lot of other artists will say this, that there's no better drug than the adrenaline rush you get from a crowd.
And them singing your songs back to you.
Yes, it was, and we were at the blood. When people are singing your song back to you, There is nothing better than that.
I bet.
It's a feeling you can't describe. It's like, I try to tell people what it's like, and I'm like, you're just never going to understand what it's like to be up there and have people screaming at you. It's amazing. So that's kind of how I got started. And then, of course, I went in the Air Force. You know, I dreamed of being a country music artist, but there was reality set in, and a couple kids and daughters, and I was at my 10-year mark, and my producer, Mr. Barry Best, had approached me. He worked with Thompson Blue for over 20 years, a group that we toured with, and said, hey, you ever thought about getting out? And I was like, man, I'm at 10-year mark. Like, I'm halfway to retirement.
Yeah.
And he was like, I really think you should make a shot at this. And he said, I think you could really do something. And I was like, yeah, it's a pipe dream, you know. And he was like, no, we should really think about it. So I was having to re-enlist or get out. And I love this part of the story, to where I went home and I sat out with my kids, and my oldest daughter at the time, Kayla, and I always preach to my kids, you can be anything you want to be. You can be a ballerina, you can be a baseball player, you don't care what, you just work hard and do what you want to do. So I come home, I sit down with the family, I said, here's my options. And before my wife could even speak up, my daughter looked up and she said, she's probably like 9, and she said, Daddy, I don't understand. And I was like, what don't you understand, honey? She said, well, you're always telling us that we can be anything we want to be and follow our dreams. How come you're not?
Aw.
And I looked at my wife, and she was like, there's your answer.
There you go.
And I got out of the Air Force, and here we are.
I know, and we're lucky to be able to hear your music and your writing and just the stories you tell. I love that. Who are some of your inspirations that you read, I want to be more like that? Is there a long list?
No, definitely not a long list. My number one, I'm a super fan of Garth Brooks.
Oh yeah.
I've been listening to Garth since I was a kid, obviously. I love his entertainment value. Right. I love that he's a full package.
I could tell a little bit about that from last night at the Bluff. I mean, you were not still the whole time. Well, and your energy just, emits down into the crowd, and we were up dancing before you knew it. So
I love that about Garth. I love that he encompasses the crowd. He involves the show in the crowd, and I think fans want that. And so he's like my huge influence. And then, I love the guys that work their way to the top. I don't have rich parents. My dad, my real father, was in the Air Force, and my mother, we didn't grow up poor, but we were just a mediocre family. So I had to work my way. I didn't always have a tour bus. I had to work my way to the top. And I like guys like the Alan Jacksons and the Toby Keiths, who grinded it out to get where they are, and they've earned it. And I feel like that for me, that's what I want. Anything that I ever do, I want to earn it.
There's a song right there. I earned it.
Somebody write that down.
Write that down.
Yeah, I want to earn everything, you know, and I want my fans to love that and love what we do. And my fan base is a lot military, and my fan base is a lot blue collar, and I don't mean that in a bad way. You are never going to see my ticket sales, and this has probably hurt me the last couple years of my career with record labels or whatever, but you're never going to see my tickets be $350 to get in. There's no way a family of my fan base can afford 2 people to come in, get a babysitter, drive to an arena.
Right.
And then, oh, by the way, my meet and greet's $500.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all right now, you're never going to see that from me. And whether that hurts me or not, it doesn't bother me at all. I want my fans to be able to afford to come see my show. I want to make a good living doing what I'm doing, and have a great time writing great songs. And
speaking of great songs, you've got a new single out that you want to talk about, and where that came from, and where they can find it.
Yeah, so my new single on radio right now is "Bring On the Night," which is cool. You got to hear it last night. We did this morning too at the morning show. It's doing great. We're in the top 100. And we're climbing every week. We're competing with the big boys.
Congratulations.
And so it's really cool. That song, Bring On the Night, came to us, if we have any Little River Band fans in the house.
Love Little River Band. That's so funny.
Okay, so
I've seen them live a few times.
Right, so Rich
Mary is my friend on
Rich
Facebook.
Herring, the guitar player,
Yeah.
okay, he co-wrote that song, and funny enough, Rich is a great guy, and a superstar. And one of I would love to be just like him. He's such a pro, but he co-produced my album, played guitar on my album,
Wow.
played bass on my album, and like I said, co-produced the very best. But he gave me, that was one of the, I got a couple songs from him. That was one of the songs he gave to me. And the minute I heard it, I was like, wow, this is like a ladies song.
Yeah.
And I always had kind of got asked from fans going, you sing a lot of songs about trucks and everything. You ever write a song for the ladies? And I'm thinking, well, this might be the one. Well, when we started putting together and my wife heard it, and she was like, that's the one.
Oh, good.
And so that's kind of how that song had come about, and such a blessing to have the people. Not only did I get to co-write on the album some of our stuff, but I had Rich Herring give me a couple of songs. I've got a song on there. We're talking about Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Hopefully I have time. This is a great, great story that we're going to let out of the bag later in the year. But one of the songs on the album is called Hate Myself Tomorrow. And a few years ago, the people that love Garth Brooks like I do and know songwriters on Nashville, Kim Williams wrote all of Garth's big ones. Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up, Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old. I mean, him and Kim Williams were best friends. I had an opportunity a few years ago, it was about 6 months before Kim passed away, to open up for him at a songwriter showcase. And he knew that I was a huge Garth fan, and I knew who Kim Williams was, and it was just an honor to meet Kim Williams. And I would come off the stage from the band, and we sat down at the table with him, and I could spend all weekend with him. And he says, man, you remind me of a young Garth.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, what a compliment.
That is.
You're comparing me to me, one of the greats, right? And he said, I heard you're writing for your second album. And I said, yes, sir. And he said, well, I just sent you an email. He said, I've got a song that's going to fit perfect for your album.
Oh, wow.
Now, I didn't even hear a song, but you're talking about Kim Williams.
Yeah. Whatever
2013 Songwriter Hall of Fame guy. It could have been a song about trucks.
Alphabet, yeah.
Yeah, Alphabet, right? Sesame Street. I would have sang it because it's
Yeah.
written by Kim Williams. But he tells me, he goes, yeah, about 3 weeks ago, me, Ken Blasey, and Garth Brooks wrote this song for Garth Brooks' album Gunslinger. And he said, it just doesn't fit the theme that we're going for. And I called Garth and asked if you could have it.
Wow.
And I looked at him and I went, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
You're who?
And Kim picked up his cell phone and showed me. It said Garth Brooks' cell. And he goes, yeah, I just got the phone with him. He said he was hearing you on stage. And I was thinking, oh, dear God.
Oh, wow.
I hope like everything was good. Like, and he was like, no, Garth said it was great. Give you the song. And the next day I got home, I had the licenses from Sony ATV. I had the song in my inbox. And the kicker was the demo was Garth Brooks.
Oh, man.
Singing me the demo with an acoustic guitar.
Wow. Well, we can't wait to hear it. I'm excited about that.
Hopefully, we're going to drop that in the fall.
Okay.
We got a few things before that, but yeah, the album's great. It's called Back for More. You can get it on my website, RyanDanielMusic.com. I'm on Pandora,
Spotify,
iHeartRadio,
MySpace.
MySpace. You know what?
kidding.
I probably still have a
Probably
MySpace account.
so.
I've never logged in a while, but Amazon, iTunes, go check it out.
Yes, go listen to the music and catch you out on tour on the Two Country for You tour.
Yes, my Two Country for You tour. We're out right now. It's been so much fun. It's been great. Folks like you.
We loved having you here in Memphis, so we want you to come back soon.
It's been so awesome. All the radio, really, of course, you know, especially when you're promoting your singles, radio is super important. And I have been really blessed with the reaction that people were getting from Bring On the Night. And now we're kind of getting the calls going, well, it's the Two Country for You tour, and we know that a song on your album is called Two Country for You. What's happening? So I was actually waiting
That's
for
a good
this.
song. I heard it last night. It's really good, yes.
But you are going to get first dibs at this. See, I haven't told nobody this
All
yet.
right.
So we're going to give the fans, so the plan is to drop Two Country for You to radio the beginning of the summer. But the sneak peek part of this is going to be really cool. We are going to drop our music video to it. And so it's going to be so cool. Hopefully CMT will pick it up. They picked up my last one. So be watching for a lot of news coming out to drop the Two Country for You song.
And call your local radio stations and tell them to play Ryan Daniel.
Call here, 94.1 The Wolf,
That's
and
right.
beg and plead and say, play Ryan's single, play Bring On the Night, play the songs.
And then come out and see him on tour, whenever you can see where he's going right here on the Facebook page.
Yes, exactly. And you can see, if you don't go there, you can go to my website, you can go to my Facebook. We are very active on our social media, and I'd love to interact with my fans, so bring in the questions, bring in the comments. and we love it.
Bring it on. All right. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank
really
you for having
enjoyed
me.
it.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to 94.1 The Wolf, and we'd love to come back and see you guys again sometime.
I hope you do. Thank you so much.